everyone, welcome back. My name is Daria if you're new to my channel, and today's practice is called Whimsical and Wild. In this class, we'll be playing into whimsy and wildness and working progressively toward wild thing pose, which is one of my very favorite postures to practice. So for this class, try to drop all of the pressure and really go inside and tune into the playful expressions of your movements. All that you need is yourself and a space to move, and whenever you're ready, let's get started. We'll come right away into tabletop. So find your way to hands and knees, spread wide through your palms, and then anchor your finger pads into the earth. Begin just to explore into your body. Let expressions of movement come from the inside out and keep everything playful. Begin to connect to your breath and let the movement and the breath have a conversation. And right away here, see if you can begin to incorporate some element of whimsy and an element of wildness. Let your movements be animalistic. They don't have to make any sense. There's no right or wrong, and there's no boundaries around this exploration. Just take a couple more breaths here. If you need a sigh to clear away your day so far, take a breath out through your mouth. Let your awareness start to anchor and settle right into the present moment, finding more focus through the breath and through the physical sensations in your body. And start to find steadiness into your tabletop. Take an inhale, soften the belly, lift your tailbone, stretch your sitting bones wider, and then begin to pull your hands back toward your thighs to encourage your heart to draw forward from the base. And then reaching through your heart, let your gaze migrate up toward the sky. One more breath in here, contract your back body. As you breathe out, press into the earth, tuck your tailbone under, draw in through your core, drop your head, relax the back of the throat, and feel the breath spreading between all your vertebrae in this cat shape. Again, breathe in, arch your back, open up into a cow, claw through your fingertips and draw back on them. As you exhale, press down, round your spine, root your index finger mounds, and open the back of the throat. Take a couple more just like this. And now, adding on to the cat-cows, maybe you can rock the hips side to side or make circles even through the pelvis as you transition from one shape into the next. Continue to ride your breath. Let's take 2 more rounds. Inhale through the nose, filling up fully, and exhaling through the nose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Neutralize your spine, tuck your toes, breathe in to float your knees an inch away from the mat, and then breathe out to come into downward facing dog. Feel steadiness down into the hands and into the feet. And then from the stability of these root systems anchoring, allow for freedom to begin crawling up your spine. Freedom in the form of elongation. The tailbone is curling toward the sky. Stretch your sit bones wider, and then hug your low ribs together as you press down from the back of your heart into your palms to draw the front of your heart closer to your thighs. Dig into fingers and toes and sweeten your breath. Let even the breath have like a whimsical, wild sort of quality to it. Inhale, look forward to your thumbs, and exhale, slowly step to the top of your mat. Take a pause in ragdoll just for a couple of rounds. Feet hips distance, bend your knees, drape your torso fully down over your thighs, relax your head, and feel this full decompression through the length of your spine. Sway side to side as though guided by the breeze of your breath. Anchor your right fingertips to the earth. On your next inhalation, stretch your left fingertips high, bend the right knee, and draw the left leg towards straight. Press your hips a little toward the left and feel this stretch into the outer line of your leg and maybe the hip as well. Turn your gaze toward the sky. One more sip of air in, and then as you exhale, switch. Drop the left fingertips down. Breathe in and stretch your right arm to the sky. Left knee bends, right leg straight-ish, and then play with rocking your hips side to side. Just notice how the sensation might change. One more breath. Draw in through your belly to turn from your ribs. And then as you breathe out, fold down. Forward fold. Walk your feet together to touch. Micro bend your knees, hug your belly button to your spine. Keep the rag doll in your torso as you roll up to stand, stacking one vertebra onto the next. Your head is the last thing to rise, and then let your shoulders fall down your back. Feel your feet, close your eyes, and spin your palms to face forward. And see if you can find like a rebounding of energy up through the lines of your legs from how much you're pressing into the earth through the soles of your feet and your toes. And then as this energy travels to the core of your pelvis, take a breath in to carry it through the spine and reach beyond the crown of your head. The crown of your head. So you're elongating, you're growing evenly into the earth and into the sky. Blink your eyes open, circle your fingertips wide, and then all the way up overhead. As you exhale, keep your spine long as you dive down into a forward fold, like you're stretching all your vertebrae away from each other. Then relax your fingertips down to the earth. Breathe in, halfway lift, lengthen out of the spine, tailbone back, crown of head forward. Breathe out, place your palms to the earth and step to plank. From your plank, inhale, lean slightly forward, shoulders over wrists. As you exhale, soften your knees to the mat just for 5. For 4, feel the core activating. For 3, press the ground away from you. For 2, for 1, beautiful. Inhale, arch your back. Lift the tailbone, reach the heart forward. Lift your eyes to the sky. As you breathe out, shift your hips back towards your heels. Active child's pose. Activate biceps and triceps and hug your hands toward one another. Inhale, round through, hands and knees, spread the breath into your back body. Now, as you exhale, keep shifting forward. Pick up your toes and draw your heels toward your sit bones, and then sink your pelvis toward the earth. Draw your shoulder blades together, keep a micro bend in your elbows, and then just reach your heart forward. It's not about how much the heels are or the toes are kicking in towards your head here. Just try to feel a lifting through the pelvic floor so the tops of the thighs might stay hovering. And then stretch your heart forward. One more breath in. Breathe out, shift your hips back, come through hands and knees, and then press into downward facing dog. Take 3 sweet breaths here. Let each breath be deeper and fuller and more directed toward any sticky spots. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, feet together. Breathe in, halfway lift, lengthen out. Breathe out just to fold down. Press through your feet and reverse swan dive as you rise to stand. Feel like you're literally taking flight away from the earth, fingertips high. As you exhale, just dive right back down from where you came. Breathe in, halfway lift, lengthen. Breathe out, place the palms, step to plank. Inhale, lean forward, elongate, and then exhale, drop your knees to the mat slowly for 5. For 4, imagine you're moving through water. 3, so there's resistance as you lower the knees. 2, 1, breathe in, cow tilt in the spine, pull back on your hands, lift up through your heart. Breathe out, hips toward heels, heart reaching forward, active child's pose. Inhale, round your spine, come through hands and knees, float your feet, kick the heels toward the sit bones, and then continue to let your pelvis come forward. Hug your shoulder blades together, lift from pubic bone to sternum, and then bring your eyes to the sky. Breathe in here. Now, as you breathe out, roll and turn your feet toward the right side of the mat. So you're coming to stand on the right shin. And then Cactus the left elbow, getting heavier down into the right palm. And turn your gaze toward the sky as you contract in through the right side body. Really try to drive the outer right hip away from the earth. Take a breath in here and a breath out. Roll back through center onto both of your knees again. Heels come in toward the sit bones. Draw the heart forward. Inhale. And now exhale, roll to the left side. So your left shin is like a kickstand behind you. Press into the left palm. Inhale, right arm cactuses up high to the sky. It's like a modified side plank. Draw your shoulder blades together. Take one more inhalation here to extend through the right arm. And then as you exhale, roll back through center. Breathe in into this cobra variation with the heels coming close to the sit bones. And then breathe out. Hips shift back all the way into downward facing dog, coming through hands and knees into that transition. 3 breaths. Breathe in and look forward. Breathe out and step forward, feet together. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, bow, chest to thighs, crown of head to toes. Inhale, press down, reverse swan dive, rise all the way up to stand and gaze toward your fingertips. As you breathe out, long spine, dive down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, place your palms and step to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, slow lower of the knees for 5. For 4, really, really active core. 3, front body, 2, back body, 2, and 1. Good. Inhale, arch, sheer back. Exhale, hips reach for the heels, heart stretches forward, active child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees, round your spine, then pick up your feet. Bending your knees, draw the heels toward the sit bones, reach your heart forward, shoulder blades together. Activate your glutes and activate your pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale, roll to your right side. Right shin kickstands behind you. This time, take your left foot and step it to the back of the mat. Turn your toes to point back. Check that the right shoulder is in a diagonal line, so it's not stacked directly over the wrist, but you're actually shifting away slightly. Then, as you breathe in, come into a modified wild thing here. So left arm is reaching for the sky, and then pivot your heart a little bit up toward the ceiling as well, so the right shoulder blade draws underneath to support you. Lift through the hips, open through the front body, breathe in here. As you breathe out, draw the left knee back down to the earth and roll through center, left palm to the mat. On your inhalation, find the cobra shape, once again, lifting the heart. And then on the exhalation, come to the left side, left shin kicks back, right foot to the back of the mat. Breathe in, right arm to the sky. Breathe out, turn your back toes to point all the way back, and then begin to lift your hips. Draw the shoulder blades underneath of you, the left shoulder blade underneath of you, and then stretch your right arm all the way up overhead. Feel the opening into the heart space. Big inhale. As you exhale, come back, right knee beside the left one, and then roll all the way down. Inhale into this cobra with the heels kicking in. As you exhale, this time, come back to active child's pose. So toes curl under as you reach the hips back toward the heels. Then start to drag your fingertips all the way in toward your knees. On your inhalation, arms reach high to the sky, fingertips high. Press your pelvis forward. Imagine there's a block between your inner thighs that you're squeezing, and then feel the lifting up through your heart. Bring your palms together at the back of your head. Press your head into your thumbs, and then press your thumbs back into the head. Now just grow longer and longer and longer through your front body. Feel like the heart is rising so much that it might touch your eyes. Good. Now circle your arms down and around to your sacrum. Fingertips pointing down or pointing up. Take an inhale. Squeeze the inner thighs. Lift up through your pelvic floor, and then stick your butt just slightly back, but keep activation from sit bones pulling down toward the backs of your knees. Zip up through your low belly and spread breath into your heart space. Keep your chin a little bit tucked.
And then begin to lean slightly back, pressing the heels of your hands into your low back, but keep pressing the low back into the hands. Eventually, you can take the head back. This does not need to be your deepest camel. We're just easing into it. Take one more inhalation. Think length, stretching the heart to the sky. And then as you exhale, stick your butt back as you begin to rise. Your head lifts last, and then settle the hips back towards your heels. Draw your knees together. You can bring fingertips to the mat or onto the tops of your thighs. Begin to lean back and stretch into the feet and the ankles. So the knees will float, maybe a little away from the mat or maybe more significantly. Doesn't matter how high the knees go, just breathe into the opening you can feel into the shoelace side of your feet. Keep stretching through your spine, heart forward. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the knees back down to the mat. Breathe in, circle the arms wide, lift your gaze to the sky as the fingertips migrate there. Exhale, palms come through prayer, and then bring your palms to the earth. Slide them a little more forward. Take an inhale, spread the knees, hips distance apart as you round forward through your hands and your knees. And now exhale and melt your whole front body to the earth. So tops of thighs, then pelvis, then ribs, heart, and shin. Untuck your toes. Spread your arms out wide to the sides and spread your fingers as well. As you breathe in, start to lift your heart and your hands and your arms away from the earth. Activate your glutes, press your feet down, and charge your thighs. Now feel the lines of your waist draw in and see if you can spread your heart more forward. Imagine the air beneath your palms is solid and you can press down into it to lift your heart higher. Big inhale. As you exhale, just lower down. We'll go up again, so just take a pause here briefly. Feel the earth beneath you. Next inhalation, press the toenails down. Begin to float like you're an airplane, heart and arms away from the earth. This time, float the feet and the tops of the thighs away as well. Elongate, feel yourself spreading in every possible direction, radiating energy out through every fiber of your body. Big inhalation, breathe into the fire building in the back body. And on the exhale, just release down. We'll take one more time like this. Up to you, you can leave the arms out wide to the side if you like them there. Or if you'd like a little more chest expansion, bring your fingertips to interlace at the base of your spine. Heels of the hands together. Take a breath in, reach back through the knuckles, pull forward with the heart, and then begin to float the legs and the feet. Just feel and just breathe. Keep it simple without overthinking. One more breath in. Breathe out and release. Place your palms. Keep the toes untucked and then press yourself back into child's pose. Draw your knees together and relax your torso down over the top of your thighs as you walk your fingertips forward. Forehead can land to the earth. Feel with the legs together, all of the space being created in the back body. Spread your breath through your spine. Press into your palms, round forward, hands and knees, inhaling. And as you exhale, make your way back into downward facing dog. And let's make some waves through the spine. I think this is one of the best ways to access this sort of wildness as well as a whimsical quality through spinal waves. Inhale, lift your heels, pull up your thighs, and begin to round forward, progressively hollowing low belly, then middle belly. Then press your heart through the back of your heart as you shift shoulders forward over wrists. As you exhale, micro bend your knees and your elbows, lift the tip of your tailbone to the sky, and then from that point, drag your hips back to down dog as your heart resists forward. Again, breathe in, lift your heels like a wave, washing forward into high plank. Pull your ribs in. As you exhale, press down and glide back into downward facing dog, arcing through the back. Inhale, lift your heels, come forward, high plank. This time a little different. As you exhale, we're shifting back to down dog, but as we go, turn your heels toward the right side of the mat. Keep your right heel lifted and press the left heel and left big toe down. Then imagine your heart is stretching forward toward your thumbs. Stay here, or you can begin to get heavier into the right palm, lighter into the left one, and maybe cactus your left elbow up to the sky. Press your left foot and your right hand down into the earth and away from each other. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, find your way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, micro bend knees and elbows. Tilt your sit bones up and to the left. Then heels migrate to the left side of the mat. Right heel roots, left heel lifts. Plug right big toe and pinky toe down. Come up onto right fingertips. Stay or dig down into left index finger mound. Cactus your right elbow. Squeeze the back of the heart with the shoulder blades. You can try or play with drawing the right leg more towards straight. Press into the knife edge of that foot and then elongate your hips away from the earth. One more breath in. As you breathe out, come into downward facing dog. Next inhalation, root the left toes and stretch your right leg high into three-legged down dog, and then stack right hip over left, bending at your knee. Just make a few circles here. Opening up, lubricating. Reverse. Good. Now, start to lift your left heel. Pivot your heel back down to the earth as you turn your toes to the right side of the mat. And then with a deep bend in both knees, step your right toes off the mat behind you. Right arm has lifted. Now bend deeply into both of your feet. Really root them down. And then inhale, tuck the left shoulder blade underneath you. Press your hips to the sky and rise into wild thing. Take this one easy. It doesn't have to be anything super open right now or into a full expression. Just try to feel like it's wild. Open, free, completely natural, so you're not imposing any artificial or superficial depth. One more breath here, inhale. As you exhale, travel back into down dog. Draw in through your core through this transition. Right foot, right palm down. Breathe in, right toes root and left leg stretches to the sky. Stack the hip, bend the knee, make some circles. Reverse as you're ready. Good. Then keep shifting the left hip further and further and further until it comes beyond stacking. Right heel pivots down as your toes turn a little bit out. And then left foot steps off the mat behind you. Bend into your knees. This helps to shift the weight of the shoulder back a little bit so it's not stacked right over the wrist. There's a little bit of that angle. Then press through the feet and start to stretch your pelvis up to the sky. Let the left arm flow forward overhead. Couple breaths here. Bend your knees if you need to back off. One more inhale. Exhale, use your core, gather in through it as you pivot back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in through your nose. Take a sigh out of your mouth, let that go. One more time. Inhale, filling up. Exhale like you're clearing dust or cobwebs, sigh. Softly sink both knees down to the mat. Come to a seat back on your heels. And one more time, let's just open up into the feet. So begin to lean back with your torso. Float the knees away from the earth. And maybe you grab for the fronts of the knees or fingertips can stay rooted beside you. Pull forward with your heart. Breathe through everything you're feeling. One more inhale. And exhale, knees land to the earth. Good. Breathe in, fingertips stretch wide and all the way up overhead. As you breathe out, palms come through prayer and then down to the earth in front of you. Slide them forward. Inhale, round your spine, coming through hands and knees. And exhale back into downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. As you breathe in, lift your heels and come forward to a plank. As you breathe out, micro bend knees and elbows, lift your hips up and back, and as you do so, turn your heels to the right. This time, root your right heel and your right big toe. Lift your left heel, then press into your right palm, cactus your left elbow. Knees can stay bent. Breathing in here, then breathe out, see if you can pick up the left toes just to hover. One more inhale, finding length and more press away from the earth. The legs might draw towards straight or they might stay bent. And now as you exhale, begin to pivot open into wild thing. See how softly and deliberately you can place the left toes back behind you and then curl your heart forward to the top of the mat as you continue lifting through the front body. Full extension. Then breathe sweetness into the shape. Infuse it with a quality of whimsy, playfulness. One more inhalation. As you exhale, gather through your core, stack the left side body over the right one back through this Vashisthasana variation, and then pivot into downward facing dog. Breathe in, lift your heels, and come forward, high plank. As you breathe out, micro bend knees and elbows and shift your hips back up and to the left. Left heel comes down, right heel stays lifted. Come onto right fingertips first, then press so firmly into left hand and left foot that you can float your right arm to a cactus and float your right toes to hover just like an inch away from the left ones. Press the ground away from you. Maybe the legs draw towards straight, straight-ish, or all the way straight. Breathe in here. And now as you breathe out, start to circle your right toes around and back off the mat behind you. As you place them down, tuck the left shoulder underneath of you, and then stretch your hips up toward the sky. You can bend your knees to back off. Claw into your left fingertips. One more breath into wild thing. Check that your glutes are energized. To come out, start to stack the right side body over the left side, and then pivot back into downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Clearing sigh, exhale. Lift your heels and bring your knees to the mat. Bring them hips distance apart, and then drag your fingertips back toward your knees. On your inhale, press your pelvis forward and rise up to standing on your knees, setting up for a second round of camel. So here, second round, toes may be untucked. This will give you more depth to go back, or keep the toes tucked. Again, no pressure at all. Just take it easy and let it feel expansive. As soon as it starts to feel any crunchiness or compression or discomfort into the low back, come out, reset, and emphasize, accentuate the length. So start by pulling your inner thighs together. Lift the pelvic floor up to the sternum. It's like your pelvic floor is like an elevator that's traveling all the way up to the top. Then feel from the base of your rib cage that there's like a support behind you, like a shelf that you're lifting up and over. Bring the hands down to the low back. Breathe in, create length, lift your heart like it's a helium balloon up toward the sky. Keep the chin tucked toward your chest for a couple of breaths. And then as you're ready, you can press your pelvis more forward and really lean into the strength and support of the back body. Shoulder blades are hugging together. Press your shins down. If you like to reach for your heels, you can do so. And then maybe allow your head to tilt all the way back. Keep drawing in through the low belly. Take a couple breaths in, Ustrasana. When you're ready to come out, bring your hands back to your low back, stick your butt back and rise up, letting the head be the last thing to lift, then have a seat back on your heels. Bring your palms facing up to the sky as you soften your eyes. Check in with your breath. Feel your heart beating. Let this be simple. All you're doing is just resting in stillness. Blink your eyes open and make your way to a seat. Anchor your feet to the top of the mat. Take your hands to the fronts of your shins. On an inhalation, turn your feet open, so rolling to the knife edges of the feet. Widen your knees. Butt sticks back, heart stretches forward, gaze rises to the sky. As you breathe out, round in through your core, pull back on your shins, and turn your feet to parallel, but keep your toes bright. Next inhalation, release the grip of your shins, reach your fingertips forward, lengthen your spine. As you breathe out, roll to lie on your back, going slow, just for 5, for 4, 3, feel the heat in your core, for 2, and 1. Finally, bringing the back of the heart and the back of the head to the earth. Open your arms out wide to the side. They can be in a cactus shape or more of a T. I'll cue into the eagle leg variation of supine twist, but you're welcome to take any twisting on the floor that feels good to you. So hook the right knee on top of the left one, and maybe bring your right toes behind the left shin. That part's optional. Take an inhalation. And as you exhale, allow your knees to fall heavy toward the left side of the mat. Press into the backs of your elbows and the back of your head. See if you can lift the base of your heart up and away from the earth and crawl it a little higher on your mat to deepen the twist. And then let your eyes float over the right elbow. Begin to feel everything dropping. Your body's heavy into gravity, and you don't have to do any work to hold yourself up here. You're just surrendered. Roll through center and switch sides. If you're in the eagle leg variation, unthread and then bring the left leg this time on top, maybe wrapping the toes around the calf. And then the knees fall over toward the right side of the mat. Readjust as you need to lift the spine, lengthen the spine, and bring your heart a little bit higher. And then settle into your twist. Keep the low belly soft with breath. Come through center. Unwind, untangle, and then wrap yourself up into a really cozy, warm, tight hug. Forearms wrap around the shins. Draw the knees to your chest. Take a big breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, open up into Shavasana. Let your body melt and spread and soften. Imagine here that you're lying on the forest floor, or some sort of really soft earth is beneath you. And as you stay and rest, allow the boundary between the back line of your body and the surface beneath you to become blurrier, so that it's as though you're being absorbed right into the surface beneath you. Drop everything and just simply rest. Start to bring your awareness gradually back into your body. Feel your sensations and feel your breath. Let your fingers and toes begin to wiggle. And then to wake up even more, take a long body stretch on an inhalation. Reach the toes and the legs long to the top of the mat and the arms and the fingers all the way back behind you. When you breathe out, roll into fetal pose, lazily coming to one side or the other. Either way, just drop. Press down and make your way up to a seat, Sukhasana. Settle the sit bones to the earth, lengthen through your spine, and then draw your palms together at heart center. And take a moment now to acknowledge any shifts that occurred during your practice, any insights that you found through exploring whimsy and wildness. And then ask yourself how you can carry or integrate or incorporate these lessons into the rest of your day and the rest of your week, even if it's just one simple action. And then lift your heart to your thumbs, bow your brain in towards your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much, as always, for sharing your movement practice with me today. I hope this one felt good for you. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can go down below and do that. You can also join as a monthly donation member. Both of these really help to support me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a great day or night, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye.